come up with something that would be fairly simple for us to walk through, and yet something that I would be able to explain to you how these things are hugged. I need to. Spiro's going to be the computer again, so I can talk. Okay. Why do we have conditionals in programming? First question. What's the point of having a computer?
Solve a problem.
Solve a problem. Whenever you have a problem, what do you typically have?
Solution.
Before you get the solution. Maybe a question, yes. You have to decide what to do. Do I do this, or do I do that, or do I do this, or that, right? Okay, that's what conditionals are, but you need to understand them. I don't know if I brought the ASCII chart up, but Broome, it's on enough. Okay, so the first thing we need to look at is this ASCII chart to understand it. Does everybody have it in front of them? Okay. So, if I said to you, what is the ASCII value of the digit 0? What would you tell me?
48.
48. How did you figure that out? Here is 0, right? It's 40 plus 8. Did everybody see that? Okay. Can you scroll down a little bit, Spiro, for me? Okay. Now, a little teeny bit more. Okay. Is a capital A greater than a lowercase a?
No.
Why?
Because
I want to know exactly why.
capital A comes first on the chart.
I don't want that. I want to know exactly why. I want to know exactly why.
Because it appears in line 60
Okay,
versus 9.
okay, stop. What is the ASCII value of a capital A?
65.
What's the ASCII value of a lowercase a?
97.
So 97 is greater than 65. What does a computer do? Does a computer compare a capital A and a little a?
No.
What does a computer compare?
Yes,
That's why I said I want to know exactly what it did. It doesn't have any idea that's a big A and that's a little a. It's looking at its ASCII value, its relationship to this chart. Okay. Where is the digit 7 greater than a small j or a lowercase j?
No.
Why?
Because the ASCII value for 7 is 55.
Thank you.
Lowercase j is 106.
106. Does everybody understand it? That you cannot possibly understand how to do this. It's okay. You can't possibly understand how to walk through this if you don't understand the ASCII chart. Okay. Where does the caret fall in the ASCII chart? Just tell me in general. Where's the caret?
94.
94. That's the caret, right? This is a 94. Okay, so tell me something about the caret in relationship to the letters.
Has a greater ASCII value than the capital letters, but lower ASCII value than the
Okay,
lowercase
so
letters.
it is greater than the capital letters, but it's less than the lowercase letters. Everyone agree? Can you show me the bottom of the ASCII chart, please? Okay, so, although a little hard to see, a bracket like that is going to be one of the greatest characters, correct? As far as the ASCII goes. So when we're comparing characters, what it compares is not the physical character, but its actual integer value. Clear? All right, so based on that, let's see if we can do this. Okay. So can you flip to the diagram, please? You need. Now I want to look at the actual code. Okay. So, what are the first two lines of the code here? What do they do? What do these first two lines up here do? That's been highlighted for you. It prompts and inputs. So we're just going to ask the user for a character. Because our very favorite character is a capital P, because that stands for Paulette. We're going to start with that, okay? Watch out. Okay, so tell me what the first test is. Can you highlight the first test there for me? Okay, what is that first test?
Checks to see if the character's a capital P or not.
Okay, talk me through. Is,
Is the character greater than?
okay, but what is the actual character? I said it's P, a capital P. So we're saying, is capital P greater than capital P?
No.
Okay, what are the only possible answers?
Yes and no.
Yes or no? There's no maybe, correct?
Correct.
So is a capital P greater than a capital P?
No.
No. So where do we go? Don't go. What do we look for when we're looking for where we go next?
I'll see.
Goes to the else.
It goes. What are we looking for? What are we looking for in the code? Here's a hint. What is this? The brace. And what are we looking for?
The end brace.
The end brace, which is way down here. Does everybody see it? So, because this test failed, all of this only occurs, go ahead, highlight it up, thank you. All of that only occurs if it is true. Because it is false, we're going to skip that whole section of code, correct?
Correct.
And we're going to go to the else, because we can be either yes or no. So let's go down to the else. Try to get, there you go. Okay. So what is the first output going to be? Path 2. Does everybody agree? Highlight that line for me. It's going to output that statement, correct? Okay, now we're inside the else, which is hugged from here. Can you highlight the whole else for me? It's highlighted, it's from there to this brace, correct? So as long as it is false, I have to do all of this code before I can get out of the else statement. It's hugged, right, by those braces, correct? All right, so is P less than a capital J?
No.
No, so where do we go?
To the else.
To the else, so we skip that entire if. So what's the next line of output? Path 11. Okay, is a capital P greater than an N?
Yes.
Yes, so what's the next output?
Path 12.
Path 12. Okay. Would you do me a favor, and would you go on the board and write down those paths for me?
Yeah.
Thank you. Because it'll be so much clearer. Okay, so we went path 2, path 11, and path 12 so far. See, I gotta have 100 people help me. I can't teach without it. Okay, but do you see, what are we doing? We're just trying to see where the code segment will go. All right, so because it was greater than N, what happens with this else statement that's hugged? We skip the else, and where are we gonna go?
To the end of
Where are we gonna go? We don't do this else. What is the next statement you see in the code?
Path 14.
Path 14, exactly. Because it's hugged inside the braces for the if, or the else, excuse me. Correct?
Yes.
Okay. So now we're gonna output path 15. And why are we outputting path 15? Because the else is complete, correct? So the very next line of code it sees is path 15. Now what's this brace? The
Closes
closing
the else.
of which else? What was the condition? Is it greater than capital P? You got the code in front of you, right? So it finishes that. So it did this line, and so the very last line it's going to do is it's going to output path 16. Agree? Now let me just walk through it quickly. You highlight each line. Okay, from the top. If I enter a character, I enter capital P, is the P greater than P? No. So we go all the way down to this else. Okay, so we print out path 2. Is P less than J? A capital P less than a J? No. So we go to this else. So we output path 11. Is a P greater than N? Yes. So we output 12. We skip this else, but since it's hugged in these braces, we're going to output path 14. That completes the else of if it's greater than J, and now it's going to output path 15. That completes the else of if the character is greater than P, so it's going to output path 16. All right, so if we have a lowercase q, what's the first thing you're going to do with your ASCII chart?
113.
What is its value? And what is it? 113. Is 113 greater than 80? Because even now I've got that memorized. Yes, it is. So we know it's true. So what's the first output going to be? Okay. Now we're going to ask, is the character greater than M?
Yes.
Tell me the ASCII values we're looking at.
109. Yeah,
Is 113 greater than 109? And it is, so it's going to output path 3, correct?
Correct.
Then it's going to skip this entire else, and it goes down to this line, and it's going to output what? Path 6. Now we're going to ask this question. Is 113 less than, give me a value. Is it? No, so it's going to skip this if. Notice, this if is not an else, so it's going to go to this if, and now it's going to check, is 113 greater than, what number?
90.
Is 113 greater than 90?
Yes.
So it's going to output path 8. Okay, that, Spiro, I can't reach that high. Okay, so it's going to then finish that, it finished the if. What happens to this entire else down here?
Skip.
Skips the entire else. So what's the last output? Path 16.